What's up, everybody? It's a three-peat kind of night. Your girl been, I was on mini vacation this past week. I had somebody in town. I couldn't do what I had to do. I had the things to do. So listen, I called up Dr. Dix. And he got the king of automation up there now. He got a whole new hairdo. You can't talk to him. He said he's too busy, too important. So finally, here he is back. Y'all been asking about him. Here he is. We got some great conversation about automation because, a lot of people are like, Erica, the recession. And funny thing, Dr. Dix, this past week, everybody's been talking smack about, yeah, the IRS coming for them PPP people. I'm like, you think 87,000 agents are just for PPP? Oh, no, they for everybody. They for you claiming your
Mm-hmm.
cousin's kids. They for you out there half working, not reporting all your jobs. They for all y'all. I don't know who
Mm-hmm.
y'all think they just gonna skip y'all. No, they hitting everybody. It's a war for your money. So listen, Dr. Dix, introduce yourself, and we gonna start talking about that automation. Y'all drop them cities and states in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes, this is Dr. Patrick Dix coming from South Carolina. It's been a while since I've been on the channel with Erica, but since this is the last hoorah of her doing everything, I decided to
Peace out,
come
y'all.
on.
No.
I decided to come on and give you an update on what I've been talking about with automation and how it's really impacting the world and whatever else may come
So he's from South Carolina, the worst North Carolina. Carolina's bad cousin. You know,
up.
if you got to be from a Carolina, best to be from the North Carolina. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? That's like saying you're from South Dakota. Nobody want to be there. So here's the thing, Dr. Diggs. People, I sit here and tell them every day on the show. I say, listen, the average car payment $700.
Hmm.
People out here living with their grandma. Like, I didn't realize it was so bad in the white community till Aaron Clary did a show to me. I got a $40,000 truck, but I live with my mama. And I noticed there's some men at church. They got a $50,000 pickup truck outside,
Uh-huh.
and they out there living with their mama.
Yeah.
Dr. Dix, what's about to happen to some of these people? They just think that we joking. What's
No,
some
we're
of the
not.
numbers on that automation?
Um, One of the articles that I researched and sent to you is about 230 million jobs. We're in that ballpark of the jobs that are going to be automated. Anything that's repetitive, administrative jobs. Two of the biggest groups that are going to be affected by automation are minorities and women. Um, I have went around in the last couple of months and given presentations. The last presentation I gave was to the South Carolina Department of Commerce, and they are aware of what's about to happen. It's called Industry 4.0, and they are very aware of what's going to happen, and they're trying to mitigate and offset what's happening. And I'm just trying to help people out because this is getting worse by the month and by the day, and they are
Mhm.
automating things faster than we can think about
Right now, it says in 2022, there are over 4 million industrial robots. And something that's really like unfortunate, I'd say all the time about South Carolina, Dr. Dix, is South Carolina tried too late to pivot. I
it.
remember about maybe 6 years ago when I had left, I saw all these articles. Hey, we're doing a bunch to push all these people into medical training, medical training, medical training. Because now South Carolina had all these retirees. They had all these
Hmm.
elderly people relocating. You don't got the doctors, you don't have the nurses, you don't have the medical
Yeah.
staff. Why? Because you never trained your high school kids, your middle school kids for actually excellence, reading, math. Never thought about it. Just we're gonna do tourism. We're gonna
Hmm.
shrimp boats and have tourism in Charleston. And in Greenville, South Carolina, we got some farms. And if y'all work at a
Yeah.
factory or two, who cares? I keep
Ooh.
telling y'all, North Carolina looked down and said, listen, we got to do everything not to be South Carolina. And I say that not as in a way of like, oh, you got state rivalry, but actually when I talk about how a state runs, I'm always like, how is South Carolina not blown up? Um in from the inside. And it's been a real testament of
Hmm.
healthcare. And so North Carolina, we've spitting out so much healthcare is ridiculous. South Carolina
Hmm.
now is like, we got to get on a pivot. Now, if you looked up the data for how many Ohio medical staff moved to Texas and North Carolina, South Carolina, crazy. I think it's like
Hmm.
300,000, but that still won't be enough. And so a lot of people, we talk about automation stuff that's repetitive. The stuff that you need to be going to train yourself for right now,
Hmm.
oh, people don't want to do that. That sounds boring. So this is one of the articles Dr. Dick sent. I'm going to read a few spots of it. Just so y'all can hear me, as many as 30% of jobs will be replaced by automation, especially the boring and repetitive ones. 1.5 people in England are at high risk for losing their job. We're at risk for losing 375 million jobs worldwide by 2030, right? We can barely get people to show up to work. 14 to 80 million US jobs are at risk of being automated. The Brookings Institute estimated 36 million jobs will be lost, will lose their jobs through AI. The World Economic Forum say machines will create 58 million jobs. Now, let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. When I sit here and I bring on Michael Sneed, when I sit here and I bring on a lot of people who are telling you, middleman to million, if you know how to hire, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. We can't get enough robots to fix toilets. We can't get enough robots to fix roofs.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get enough robots to be inside surgeries. We can't get enough robots to do a lot of occupational things. When Aaron Cleary and some of these people make a joke about men are going back to blue collar, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. They're not going back to factory work, but they're definitely
Mm-hmm.
going back to everything else. I'm talking about roads. I'm talking about highways. I'm talking about you're gonna see men be like, "I'll be a roofer today, sir. You have a roof? No, but I'll do it today."
Yep.
The days of the soft hand man are over.
Yep.
America don't realize that we shipped in as many Hispanic men we could to do construction. Y'all gonna have to pitch in too. We done brought in all the people we can to do the airport work. Have you ever been to DC airport? It's full of Ethiopians and Somalians. They ain't even know American to be seen. I'm like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
It started to be like that in Atlanta. Okay, you a local black Atlantan, you better take that airport job while you can. So
Exactly.
so my biggest thing to people is when I bring these people on the channel, we're talking about the way the future's moving. See, a robot don't care if you ain't paid your rent on time. They're gonna make sure it's notated that you need to be evicted, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
part of what happened in 2008. Remember Dr. Days when they were just evicting people and they came back and said, "Who signed off on this?" Oh, robot did it. A robot? That was in 2008, y'all.
Yep.
Robots were signing off on y'all to lose your foreclosure to your home. Because robots don't have feelings. They don't care. They're looking at numbers. Talk to me, Dr. Dix. Talk to me.
Well, the thing about the automation part, as I stated earlier, I went around and did presentations about it. I don't think a lot of people take this very serious. They see the autonomous cars and they see the factories and they say, well, it's going to create jobs. Do you know you have to have a specific skill set to get into that kind of job field? And many people will say, well, it's not going to eliminate things faster. I was talking to somebody from Houston. They said the robots are going across the streets. Already, they'll hold up traffic delivering things. The University of Tennessee already has a robot on campus delivering pizzas to people. They are already testing. I can't remember the other thing I was looking at the other day. It'll hit me back in my mind. But in the airport, a friend of mine sent me a video from BWI Airport. If you go on my Instagram page, you'll see the robot of people around it in the airport. It's like giving directions, dancing around. And people, that is just a small segment. The world is moving forward. How it's going to go, if you are not part of the world moving forward, you're going to get left behind. And it's going to be rich people and it's going to be poor people. You were talking about a $700 a month car payment. When I talk to people, I ask them how many people you could think of that can afford $1,900 just for their rent. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody want to go out there and flash, and I always bring up the Hellcat Chargers because I've seen a lot of them around South Carolina and Georgia. Hellcat Chargers, the 392s flying by, and the PPP money loan is gone. The government is not sending any more money to people, and they added 530,000 jobs to the economy in July. What people don't realize, the windows of opportunity are going to close and the world is not moving backwards. It's going to continue to move forward. So the jobs to where people say, oh, I make $30 an hour without any kind of training, those days are over. And people don't see those days are slowly coming to an end. So I advise people to retrain, get into the blue collar skill. There are tech jobs. We talk about a lot of the tech jobs. A lot of the tech jobs can be automated. Cybersecurity, they're using machine learning and artificial intelligence. The things I advise people to do is to make sure you can become the subject matter expert in those fields. And every day you got to find a way to try to stay ahead because nobody, like you were saying, Ericka, can outdo a robot. So you got to fight to stay ahead, and you got to stay ahead and try your best to not let not let these circumstances catch up with you.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, it says 14 million robots could exist in China, making it the highest country for manufacturing automation. They'll flip China over if they bring many robots over there. Um, there is a 20% GDP growth in China and a 14% boost in GDP growth in North America by 2030. How do they think they're going to get that? Okay. Global medical robot market is expected to reach 12.6 billion in 2023. Now, earlier I just had DJ the Money Coach on. And what I was trying to tell y'all is when we talk about teleworking jobs, people act like, oh, y'all hyping it up. No, I literally go get an IV therapy so that I can get all the energy I need, all the everything, all the vitamins. And literally, the Dr. Dick's like, the nurse ain't even there. It's via the camera. How you feeling? The girl took your blood pressure. Tell me this. Answer these questions. Okay, you good to it. And I just started laughing at her. I said, how you feeling? And she said, what do you mean? I was like, how you feeling working at home? She just started laughing. She just couldn't even stop. She was being serious. She was like, ma'am. I'm like, no, you laughing. You at home. I see the couch and everything. I see the dog in the background. Imagine that. Being a nurse, you ain't never got to be in a hospital setting if you don't want to be. Think about that, y'all. That's coming. It's coming for people who have the skills. Everybody else, y'all gonna be outside, baby. Y'all gonna be running around. So, again, this is the pandemic accelerated job automation. Black and Latino workers are most likely to be displaced. The number one thing I hear, Dr. Dix, I always hear, boy, I tell you, wears me out. Black people talking about, boy, the good old days. Jobs was everywhere. You can get a job anywhere. Them factory jobs. I'm like, what years are y'all talking about? And half the time they talking about Bill Clinton years. I'm like, first of all, quit quitting y'all your jobs and just show up. But that's how they talk. They be like, boy, when there was the good years, you could just show up, and you'd be like, what are they talking about? We have a lot of our community who think, I'm gonna show up to some kind of manual labor job, maybe do a little bit, text on my phone, chill. Look, what was the biggest thing about the pandemic, Dr. Dix? It was all the Black people working in food and restaurant services. They were screaming bloody murder, like, oh my God, the Chick-fil-A, the Popeyes, everything's closed. And you like, well, y'all had to know food service was gonna be hit. You had to know hotels were gonna be hit. Look, Sherry said them factory jobs in 1962. Yeah. I'm telling you, talk to somebody, they act like, man, I used to be able to just walk off a job and walk into another job. First of all, why are you telling that story? And second, that's crazy, right? Again, you're talking to people who are in their 40s and 50s, and I go, ain't your back hurting? Ain't your legs tired? Don't you want to transition into different type of work? Now, when you're talking to somebody that's 20 to 35, I ain't trying to hear that. Go do what you got to do. Whatever job's available, go work it, right? But when I'm talking about 45 to 55, y'all got to figure out how we gonna move laterally, how we gonna do something else. I started talking about Tech Tuesday about 4 years ago, really honestly, because I ran into people who were like, yeah, I hate my job. I'm like, well, what do you do? I work in tech. I make like 200 grand a year, but it's, it's just boring. It's repetitive. I'm like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, like, and so you would meet people who were in these jobs and were bored, right? Now you can see now in the pandemic, you have people who work in tech doing 2-3 jobs, right? We had Tamika Reed come on. She's so busy working all them jobs, she ain't even been back on Tuesday, right? We have several people who, Sub-Zero, multiple jobs, right? In tech. And so when you have people trying to talk about the good old days, I go, what days are you talking about? There's so much more now, right? Like, there's so many older Black people I know now that own a company, and most thing they do is moving the phone. That's a new world.
Yeah, the days of working one job are over. I'm 38 years old, and how high stuff is now, you're gonna have to work multiple jobs. You're gonna have multiple streams of income. It is impossible. Like the good old days. Oh, I worked that job for 40 years and get a pension. No, nobody's working a job 30 years. People might work a combined 30 years, but those are the old days. Nobody is sitting. It's like you were talking about a factory, your knees gone, your ankles gone. And in the South, people be humped over for walking on that concrete because they don't buy the right kind of shoes and stuff.
That's the biggest thing, them feet and shoes and concrete. I got an aunt who had literally had knee surgery. Yeah. And the lady's like, she's so small. Why does she need? She's a small woman. Why she need her? Yep. She walking on the concrete.
Yeah, the concrete doesn't give. And, walking, and we're not saying it to be funny. We're just trying to tell folks those days are over. there's so much opportunity, there's so much potential. You could get your degree from working from home. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. But we, society, when the great reset, as they call it, with the pandemic, everything, we're at a fork in the road. I was saying this earlier to somebody in exercise class. We're either going to go left or we're going to go right. America is for sale. If you have a little bit of a work ethic, you can really come up, because what's going to happen, the pandemic, not the pandemic, the economy is going to spin itself back right. And the people that really prepared, once this, just like in 2008, they're going to be able to reap the benefits of it. So that's why we keep encouraging people to go into these types of fields, blue collar, white collar, to get ahead, because everybody else is picking their nose right now.
Well, here's the thing, Dr. Dix. It's not that black people and Latino people aren't capable, aren't some of the smartest children in the classroom, can't figure out how to do multiple dances, create songs, do music, be on that phone all day. Your parents be like, get off that phone all day,
Yeah,
right? But them kids know how to do this. There's no excuses.
yeah.
Teo Tech is maybe 25 years old at this point, and made $1 million off of his tech career. And people on TikTok be like, oh man, you're making this up. The dude can show you his paycheck stubs at work and his investments. And people are like, oh man, you're just making that up, right? And so my biggest thing to people is, somebody said in the comments, once they Walmart and fast food automates, it's over for the community. DJ Cadillac, remember when Latino people start working at McDonald's, they act like, oh my God, they're taking all the jobs. And I
Hmm.
would be looking around like, what jobs are Latinos taking? They'd be like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, like immigration hurts working class black people. And I go, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me look up what y'all talking about. And of course, it's always food, retail,
Hmm.
factory work. If you in America, you can do just about anything.
You,
Just
you know,
about.
I found an article from when I was doing my dissertation from May 25th, 1982. The Government Accountability Office is researching the automation and its effect on employment. This is from
Hmm.
1982, the same thing we're talking about now, 40 years ago. And back then, they didn't even have the kind of technology we have now. So people have to realize, like I think DJ, what's his name in the comments mentioned
Hmm.
DJ Cadillac.
Hmm.
Yeah, once they automate a lot of this fast food stuff, pretty much we're already automated it for them. Most places now want you to order through the app. They don't care about the drive through. I can already tell folks one thing I can see with the education system. I want people to go ahead and be prepared for it. They're going to privatize education in the high school system. Somebody in New York is going to be teaching your child in South Carolina. The education system is headed towards being privatized. There is no other way to go around it. We don't have enough teachers. We don't have enough qualified teachers.
You see what they do in
And
Arizona, right? Arizona, they if you are going to school, college, right? And they made a joke. It's about black teachers. If you're going to college, not even like you could be 18 years old, but you're going to college to be education. You can teach in the Arizona school. That's how short they are. They made
mhm.
it a law. And they said, well, we're trying to help, the minority teachers who didn't finish their college degree and they've been stuck as a substitute teacher. We're trying to fill the gap. And I'm like, don't throw that on us. That's a lot of people. A lot of people didn't finish them degrees. A lot
Yeah,
of them.
and we have a lot of teachers in Georgia that are not certified to teach, but
Mm-hmm.
they just don't have enough teachers. So they're like, well, just keep passing it along, keep rolling it over. Because teachers are retiring, and you have younger teachers that are like, man, I'm not about to be dealing with all this for them $45,000, and
I'll
they're
bop
quitting.
these kids in the head.
So, the education system is going to have to be changed. Everything around you is changing. And when you bring on all the people from Tech Tuesday, you had, I think, was Chris on, you had Master
Mm-hmm.
IT, and I was watching their stream. Everybody that comes on is trying to give everyone information on like how to prepare. What we are headed for, I am very nervous myself. I know family members and friends that are going to be devastated by this. And people,
Mm-hmm.
we haven't seen anything yet. If you don't have a skill set, like you were talking about work from home, people are like, man, I ain't going to work. What kind of specific skill set do you have to work from home? Otherwise, you got to go to work. And I saw a comment, somebody asked about trucking. They're testing self-driverless trucks, but they haven't
They
perfected
ain't,
it.
yeah, it ain't.
It'll be a
But
long
they still
time.
need a driver. They still need a
Yeah,
driver sometime in the truck monitoring it.
that's one thing I was telling folks about CDLs. Truck drivers are in a high need right now. The plumbing, the pest control people, HVAC, electricians. They have projects right now. They can't even find people. So
I tell
we
people we're
have
going
to.
to move to training these guys. You're going to start pulling kids out as soon as kids turn 18 to 23. Hey, you want to be trained? You want to be apprentice? Companies are going to have to go back to that.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to it because um we're just headed for the world has to move forward. We're in the fourth industrial revolution, and I want everyone to realize if you don't have the correct skill set, the days, if I've said before on Ericka's channel, the days of looking cool, playing around are over. All the people I know that look cool are broke.
They look dry.
What
They like they don't
they
drink
look
water now.
no, you can't. The thing, the thing about what's about to happen now, you cannot win getting around technology and these specific types of other processes. You used to could wing it, but you can't do that anymore.
Now, before somebody come in this video after this renders, I know they can be like, Ericka, y'all picking on black people. You picking on. Let me tell you, the new report from the Brookings Institute indicated Black and Latino workers are the most likely to have job improvement. Now, let's read what happened when COVID happened. Both advances in automation and economic impact because of the COVID-19 disreportedly affected Black and Latino workers. These workers are more than likely to be employed at jobs at high risk of automating in the next 2 decades that cannot be done remotely. Of the 5 occupations, I'm going to read this to y'all, that employed the highest number of Black and Latino workers, 4 have experienced the highest losses during the pandemic. Are you ready? Retail salesperson, cashiers, cooks, waiters, and waitresses. A lot of times y'all act like, oh, you're just picking on people. No, this is they've studied this. The data's here. The impact is likely to be greater for Black and Latino workers in communities because Black and Latino workers overrepresent in 11 to 13, respectively, of the 30 jobs that employ the most workers in the United States due to automations. This is the lead author on the report of the director of the Hamilton Project at Brookings. So instead of y'all out here, look, you can pull this up right here. Can y'all see my screen? Put a 1 in the comments if you see my screen. You got people on the internet going back and forth for 8 freaking hours about men and women and jobs and BS when they need to be talking about this right here. Y'all got 15 podcasts on women, and you ain't got near podcast on old brother ain't gonna be able to be at the forklift on the factory. So again, they're studying this as we speak. This was released March 2021. Next, by the time we see the next report, it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse, y'all. I don't think y'all understand that. Y'all are really kind of like, oh, you're picking on people. We're really not. We've had time to be silly. We had time to joke. We got time to make 15 videos in a row about women. Brother, it's time to talk about work. It's time to talk about labor. It's time to talk about the fact that over 12% of Black workers and 9% of Latino workers barely make up unions. Barely. Mm-hmm. So when they got the protection from the union, you don't got it. You don't have it.
And like you said, this is from 2021. When they come out to a report in 2023, some of the other articles I sent you are from this year about women working in a lot of administrative fields. So everybody is going to be impacted by this, and we have to get very serious. For the people out there saying this isn't going to happen, this is proof. This is from CNBC. The Brookings Institute is a reputable source. People, you have to prepare. There is no other way to get around this kind of stuff. And we're trying to help you. The thing is, there's still hope. But once this becomes full-fledged, it is pretty much over. Nothing is going back to the way it previously was.
For sure. And this is another page. Again, I'm going to keep showing y'all page after page. Where you find this information, Ericka? I need the source. Where's the source? We are giving you the links. The links will be in the description. The links will be in the community section. They're out here. If you train your phone to find booty, you can train your phone to find data. Y'all know when Dr. Diz come on, I'm going to be petty. Okay. If you can train your phone to find booty, you can train your phone to find data. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, let me read this. This is some of the key findings. Again, because people are like, oh, you're making this up. No. Top 3 occupations with the largest projected declines in employment by 2030: cashiers, 300,000 jobs; secretaries and administrative assistants, except those in legal, except those in medical, and except those in executive field. Why? Because those pay. We need medical people. We need legal people. We need executive. 150,000. Executive secretaries and executive administrative assistants, 100,000. Occupations with experienced the fastest decline: word processors and typists, 16%. Parking enforcement workers. Think about that. We don't need the lady walking around writing tickets on the cars. We got the
Mhm,
camera, we got the data, we got the parking
mhm.
meter taking your picture. We know you didn't pay. Right? Nuclear power reactor operators, 1% decline. That's scary. Office administrators, administrative support occupations, 500,000 jobs. All the ladies in the front office laughing and kiki and giggling. Ha ha ha, girl, yeah, girl. Blah, 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 blah. Gone. You're gone, girl. You're gone. Sales and related occupations, 200,000 more jobs. Production occupations, 39,000 fewer jobs. 8 out of the 30 BLS projects experienced the largest decline, pay below average wages. 26 of the 30 have the largest decline. Now, why am I bringing this up? Why am I saying? I've been telling y'all, women are going home. Women are going home. Erica,
Mhm.
you don't know talk about these men ain't paying for these women to be home. It won't be a choice. Yeah, see, there's this talk on the internet where y'all out here talking BS, and I'm telling you what the data is telling you, brother. Your wife is gonna be home. You know why? Because there ain't gonna be no little part-time secretary job.
Mhm,
There ain't gonna be no part-time little stuff she can do. She can go work at a school. School always gonna have some little $10 an hour jobs.
mhm. And
That's
I
a
don't know
wrap.
what I,
Go
I
ahead.
I don't know what you can do off $10 an hour. I got paid back in 2009. I worked at Walmart in the tire and lube TLE $8, and I thought that was a lot of money. I was in my last year of college, and I got a raise to 850. I know once I graduated, got my degree in May of 2010. I said, man, I don't see how people work at Walmart. And it's customer service. And then another thing, you don't get paid any money, but we have to remind people. I think I remember a video, Erica. We're out here fussing about minimum wage, $15 an hour. What are you really going to do with $15 an hour in this high stakes economy we live in right now? There ain't no more tricking. Everybody, I see there are a lot of videos about, like you were talking about with the women and everything. We have real issues. And with football season start, people now want to have football parties, not parties or watch parties. I don't really watch sports like I used to. I think it's a distraction. And I think as a man or a woman, if you're not where you need to be, you really, really got to prepare yourself for life. These next couple of years are going to be very, very trying for a lot of people that did not prepare. And what's going to happen? We on this man's internet, as Erica said. The man is going to say, "Hey, we gave you money to sit at home for 24 months. Why your rent late?" And the eviction things, I look at those every week. They're evicting people faster and faster. You ain't pay your rent in 18 months. What you gonna do? You don't have a job. So the plant laid me off, or they got rid of my job. People, y'all have to wake up. All we can do is bring the data towards y'all and let y'all know what's going on. But I am telling a lot of people they're automating everything, artificial intelligence. The government, I work for them and I still work for them. I enrolled in pre-check. I already had it, but I enrolled in clear where they use your biometrics. I said they already got all my stuff already. So just look at how they're using artificial intelligence on that aspect. They're using my irises. If anybody's went through clear to get into, you can get through the line faster. That is one avenue of artificial intelligence. The other thing is with the cameras. They're using that to scan for things. So the days of getting away with crimes are over. You're not going to be able to really get away. It's 2022. You might as well say we have a couple of more months left. 3 to 4, about 5 to 6 years from now, it's going to be virtually impossible to get around anything. So I just want everybody to be on the forefront. These jobs are going to go away. If you don't have the right skill set, you're not going to be employable, and you can't blame anybody else but yourself if you're falling behind in life, especially as things get older. I mean, especially as you get older.
He said, "My brother's a plumber. He does very well for himself. There's a need for skilled workers. There are grants for Black people to get in these fields." Yeah, VMJM. Here's my biggest thing I tell people: I bring on Michael Sneed, who is a sponsor of the boat party. He will be here. He'll got some great popcorn for everybody. They're delivering all kind of flavors tomorrow. Listen to me. There's going to be a wave of y'all training 18 to 23-year-old Black men and boys and Latino boys how to do. You name the company, you name the service business. That's what's going to happen out here in Texas because they're so short on plumbers. If you worked for another plumber at least 1,000 hours, you can say that you're a plumber.
Hmm.
No certification needed, y'all. That's how bad it is, and it's going to get worse. So again, yeah, no more meter maids. No more meter maids, y'all. It's a
You
wrap.
you can't automate how to fix. You can't automate how to run electricity. You cannot
Ain't
automate how to plumb stuff. There are so many things you cannot automate in a blue collar field. They'll get assistance, but those guys, once you get in the union, say you become a welder, they have robotics to help them, but there's still integral things that welders have to do. Driving the trucks. There are just so many blue collar fields that people make a lot of money in, and those are going to be the good fields to where they can automate. I primarily think the school system should go to 50-50. 50% blue collar, 50% white collar. Everybody cannot sit behind a desk anymore.
They've already been doing that when I was in school. Early
Mhm.
2000s. I was in high school. They had 2 tracks in North Carolina. Where you going to college track, where you just graduating early. And I remember all these kids, oh, I'm not going to college. So they were getting out early in senior school, getting out extra 2 hours early, last periods. Ah, ha ha ha, key. And now them motherfuckers like, oh, I had to take all this Spanish class to get in a community college. I had to do all this stuff to get in the community college. I'm like, that's why they were asking you, what track were you on? Now
Do
you
you know?
have to do that.
I've been meeting a lot of people. One critical thing: if you go to college, please stop going to school for these bad degrees. And now you got to come back and say, "Well, I went for 4 years. I'm hoping they'll transfer some of my credits from my last degree to the new one."
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is going to school just to graduate the pledge and say, "I got a degree." Why get a
Yeah.
degree and all you can make is $45,000? Now you're
Whack.
mad, like I got to go into debt and get a master's degree.
No, you
Like,
don't. I hear people all the time. I'm going for a master's. For what? For what? I heard somebody talking about they're going for marketing. Baby, you can learn that on Udemy today. By the time you go to that degree, all that stuff you learn is gonna be old.
yeah, you need to stick to STEM stuff. You really, and even with a lot of the STEM stuff, technology is changing so fast. They have YouTube. I'm finding myself, I'm having to reinvent myself every week with the classes I teach.
Mm-hmm.
I am telling everyone what worked in 2020 does not work for me in 2022. Every year, I'm going to have to continue. You got to continue to reevaluate yourself. One of the good ways to know if you know you're making money, you could go to the Social Security website. I don't know if everybody looks at their statement. Once you pay 10 years, you can see what you pay in taxes. If
Mm-hmm.
that graph is not going up and it's staying like this, you are failing. Around here, I tell everyone I measure stuff by numbers. I don't care what your resume and who your network is, what you paying in Medicare taxes. What does that tax bracket say? Because your adjustable gross income, if that's not moving up every year, you have a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm. Y'all
And
check out some of this stuff. I mean, super interesting stuff you have in here. Let me see the other one. Let me see if I got the other one. Working women are more at risk of job automation than men. But we know that, y'all. Let's stop playing. We know that. But anyway, so again, it's going all across the world. Look at this. Look, here you go. There you go. Men a little bit more, but women outnumber men in occupation with the highest and lowest risk of automation. 20 million in between. Y'all not listening to me. I keep telling y'all women gonna go to work. They say these care positions, again, care positions, more than likely pay 20,000 to 25,000 annual salary, which is below poverty line. Again, what happened with the daycare workers? Does anybody remember what I told y'all happened with daycare when COVID busted out? All of a sudden, Dr. Dix, everybody like, well, I got to stay home with my kids. So 1/3 of the daycares closed in America. And people say, oh, we can't have the kids go back to school. We can't go back to work because there's no daycare workers. And I remember Aaron clearing them talking about stay home with your own kid. Well, if everybody stayed home with their own kid, again, nobody will be opening up the daycare. That's
Mhm.
just, these are very simple. This is so simple. It's like in your face simple. If the black lady that works at a daycare center got to stay home and watch her kid because they can't go to school or because of the vid, what happens? Now you have to reschedule yourself, right? So a lot of people got to understand. Again, everybody's saying great, ideal, Dr. Dix. Checking the Social Security site for my stats. Say it one more time for people, Dr. Dix.
I don't know. A lot of people, if they're not aware, once you work for 10 years, the Social Security Administration, you paid into it. So you could go right now in 5 minutes and look at every year you paid taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see what you pay your taxes in Medicare. And if those numbers are not going up, that means you have a lot of work to do. So, a lot of people, that's how you can apply for retirement if you're at retirement age. But that's one way I measure myself by numbers, to see what I'm paying in taxes, Medicare, income tax, all types of things. Because talk is cheap right now. We need to see numbers. And as the thing on YouTube says, we need to see receipts and no cap. That's what people are saying now. But we got a lot of people out here lying about what they make. You need someone to say, "Let me see your social security. Let me see your social
Show me
security
that social
statement."
security statement.
Yeah.
Teresa says, I keep telling people about these robot nurses too. They're new now robot chefs. I'm telling you, all in Japan. Japan had to figure it out because they won't allow people to come in. Now, here's what this person said. Let me pull myself back on the camera so I can show you what I'm gonna say. Listen to me. If a tech person in tech can make 200,000 a year or work two jobs and make close to 300,000 a year, are you gonna let those 5 years go by? Well, they leaving anyway. They're going away anyway. No, in 5 years, you'd have made $1 million. Again, I keep telling y'all try to, when people talk about their credit being bad, well, it's going to fall off in 7 years. If you talk 7 years from 28 to what? 28 plus 7 is 35. That's a huge span of your life. A reason this isn't going to happen is because countries do pissing tests.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, China want to act up. We got workers in America. This one act up, we got workers over here. India wants to steal people's information. India be beefing with Bollywood and all these people in Nollywood be, but you know what I'm saying? Come on now. That's that silly talk. Well, 5 years is gonna go away. No. Well, in 5 years, my kid will be 10. Okay, and that you're still gonna have a kid. The thing people don't do the math. Like, let's be really honest. Like, it's like somebody saying the other day, somebody was like, "Oh, I missed the wave on YouTube. I missed the wave on this or that." And y'all keep asking me about truck drivers. Just drive the truck, bro. Like again, like the question don't even make sense. I'm not trying to be funny, but like, I got my CDL. What does that mean? Drive the truck. Take the money. Take 20% of your money, invest it. That's it. You pay off all your debt. You making $100 a year, 80, 90 a year for just driving? Just don't eat out every night. Just don't go get lot lizards. Chill out.
Yeah, y'all know what lot lizards are. Those are prostitutes that are in the parking lots of the truck stop.
Just put your money in investments. Like, that's the number one question here. What about truck driving? Hey, what about it? Drive. We short. Drive.
Truck drivers can make a killing right now.
Make a killing. Take 20% off the top and invest it. Real simple. It's not even hard. Take 20% off that top of that 100K. Put it in the stocks. Put it in the real estate. Half of y'all know y'all could buy a piece of land. By the time you're done driving, now you got a piece of land to do something with. You know, people in South Carolina, Dr. Dick's got land. They a truck driver. They got a trailer, 2 cars out front, flat screen TVs. Don't even be home. Be on the road, man. I get big on the road, man. They be living well. People say, what about truck drivers? Truck drivers live well.
Yeah.
Most black men, their truck drivers got dental, got benefits. They fine.
Yeah, I see it a lot. They had them a big double wide on about 10 acres of land. They'll have them fenced in. They'll have them like a Tahoe or SUV and another car, and they'll have like, if they pull containers, you'll see the 18-wheeler in the back with the other trailers. They chilling. So yeah, truck drivers, the government was even willing to waive the weight limits right now for truck drivers, because they don't have people to move cargo.
So Andy, I'm not trying to be funny, but I got to do it, and Dr. Diggs, I'm gonna be a little petty. People say relocate to Africa. There's so much more opportunities and much better work-life balance. Let me listen to you. If you are here in America and you're dry, dusty, broke in America, where we got credit card system, don't believe me? Go Google this stuff. They don't have credit card access in many of these countries outside of Europe. I'm talking about Africa and parts of South America. They don't have credit card systems. They barely have banking systems. So if you can't make it in America, where we throwing credit cards out, we throwing opportunity out, we're throwing car loans out. If you can't budget yourself for the next 5 years and make it here, maybe that is a better deal for you. Relocate to Africa, but you're not going to Africa stealing nobody factory job for $2 an hour. You're not going to Africa with nothing, no plan, no money. You got to have a plan. I know the passport bros on the internet is marketing hard for y'all. But what's their job plan? Half them dudes turn back and come back to America in 6 months. They don't have a plan. They don't have a remote skill that they can use to work. America's one of the easiest countries to become rich, make money, turn your life around in 6 months. It just is. Immigrants even tell you that. They take their money and make it for a few years and then go home. But at the end of the day, at some point in this equation, y'all have to make the money, right? This is something that's really just a struggle for our community. Well, I'm gonna move to Belize. I'm gonna move to South America. I'm gonna move to Colombia. Okay, what you gonna do when you get there? Now your rent's $250. What you do all month? Trick all month? Trick all month? Well, Ericka, I can trick if I want to. That's fine. You can, but then you run out of money and then you come back, live in Mississippi crying about rent. We see this stuff. We see it play out, right? At the end of the day, at some
Hmm.
point in this journey, we have to skill up. It just is what it is. But go ahead, Dr. Dix.
I That's one thing I tell anyone. I live from a small town in South Carolina, and I tell anyone, if you can't make it from the town we're from, it's about 3,000 people. You can't make it anywhere. From my area, the next big city is Atlanta, Georgia. You are making $10 an hour here. The rent in zone 3 or wherever part of Atlanta you at is $1,900 a month. What skill set do you have to make that kind of money? You were failing in South Carolina. You sure ain't gonna succeed in Georgia without a skill set. And I've seen a lot of the videos. I've seen a lot of the other videos on the internet. They got a lot of bad crime in Atlanta right now. A lot of people moving to Atlanta with no kind of plan and like, well, I'm a rob and steal. I'm gonna be an actor, or be a rapper. No, it's tough to make it in Atlanta. And what do they end up doing? Coming right back home with no skill set, saying, "Man, it was tough to make it over there in Atlanta." Well, what about the other 1,500 people that went to Atlanta and made something of themselves? You're the reason you couldn't make it in Atlanta. You can't jump to these big cities saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go all the way to Houston, Texas, and make it," with what? No kind of plan. Well, I'm gonna find a chick, get her pregnant, and stay there with her. I said we have some of the stupidest plans.
Not that plan. Let's do a different
No,
plan. Not that plan. That's a
man,
wild plan.
man, man. I looked up and got a girl pregnant over there, man. But I said, I just don't know why. I just don't know what people are thinking. They don't have any kind of plan for life. And when you're 19 or 20, it's okay. They're making mistakes.
Mhm.
25, you'll get it right. By the time you're 30, people are gonna be like, "You're an idiot now. There is no room for failure." And what people don't realize, by the time you're 30, you gotta at least have some kind of plan or some kind of notion, or the wheels on the train got to be turning. People are not going to give you the benefit of the doubt when you get over 30. And it's hard for people to hear that. Like, man, so you telling me after 30 I can't make it? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, you need to have some kind of plan of motion. It is going to be tough in life. The world gets tougher every year. Your kid, Ericka, you mentioned it. Your wife got to quit work. All y'all bills a month, $6,000, $7,000. You ask the average man, what kind of skill set you got to make $6,000, $7,000 a month? And I'm not talking about net. I'm not talking about gross. I'm talking about net. In your bank account, are you getting paid $6,000 a month to take care of you, your wife, your kid, and all the expenses so y'all can live comfortable? You have to have a good blue or white collar skill set to do that.
Yeah, you do. It is. It
And
is. It is.
and we're in a world where it's changing. It's fast. I know people are looking at the news now with all these bills and stuff they passing. And you were talking about the IRS agents.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all that ain't paid y'all taxes, I would be terrified, man. I ain't paid my taxes in 7 years. So they coming for you, partner. You're not gonna chip Uncle Sam about his money. And people just don't realize that. The world is changing. Everything is moving forward. They're hiring people. I personally said this to people. I am tired of people not doing anything, getting by, and the world is slowly getting tired of that too. You're either going to work or you're going to be a bum, one of the two. So people are understanding what's really going on, and that's the way the world is going. People, I just hate to break it to you, but you're either going to be making money or you're going to be dusty. And there is no in between anymore. You can't live off Lolo Keisha them anymore because they about to cut all the funding off.
Listen,
You
Lolo Keisha uncle filled out a fake PPP, so now everybody in the house gonna lose their benefits. So, good gracious, I think y'all think this is a joke. It's really not a joke. I mean, at the end of the day, but this is why you have this high breaking. This is why you have all these people breaking, smashing, grabs. They caught on Ring cameras doing stupid stuff, and I'm like, with all these jobs out here, y'all trying to
Mhm.
smash and grab? Y'all trying to go to jail when there's unlimited jobs? No,
If if
I, so hold on. So I see your comment down there. Don't worry, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you next. When I was young, we had to cut off the age of 25. After that, you couldn't make them decisions. This is true. It's true. Also, somebody said something about Africa, and I'm just like, look, people coming, literally, what did they catch at the border here in Texas? 141 countries at the
Mm.
border, 1 million people in 1 month. But people steady telling you, man, I got to get to Africa. I got to get to India. I got
No.
to get to Colombia. If I can just get that $200 rent, I'll give you right. Okay, cool. Okay, bro, you might as well, you'd be better living in your damn car at this rate.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw that about the border. Those people coming into the border with their
they ain't even
iPhones,
playing.
chilling. They waiting for the border. They
They
waiting
like,
for the. Please take us.
please take me. Hands up.
Please.
Please shoot me my leg too so I can get a check when you're done. If your wife has to take 3 months off due to a bad pregnancy, we need husbands who can take care of the household. That part. You'd be amazed. So here's this top-notch rocker. Ericka, I hate to burst you guys' bubble, but there's a truck driver on YouTube struggling to get loads to haul, paying a significant amount of money to cover fuel and expenses. Okay, this is where lines of credit come in. This is where Love's gas cards. This is where Flying J gas cards. This is where having reserves comes in. This is where having money come in. I've talked to you about this before, Top Rocker. If you're new to the channel, let me tell you, 1/3 of trucking companies are going to go away. 1/3 are going to be limping. 1/3 are going to be just fine. You know why? Lines of credit. A lot of people out here on YouTube telling you to just go get a truck with no money down, no money, no nothing. You're going to be busted up on the side of the road with a 5K repair you can't pay for. The days of thinking you're going to just make 40, 50K a month off trucking if you just drive nonstop gross. I mean, you can make a truck make gross 30, 40 gross. Tough, but you can. Depends on what he's doing. If he's not making no money driving, he need to do what? Flatbed pays more money. If he can't make money flatbed, what does he need to do? He need to do oversize, right? See, the things people don't want to talk about in trucking is the fact that the days that I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna drive an automatic truck and just back the load up to Amazon and I'm gonna just back it up, drop and hook 90%. That's a wrap. So
Hmm.
you're not telling me nothing I don't know. That's why we went from 11 trucks down to 3 trucks. I know this personally. Yes, I know this. If you have 1 truck and you're struggling to get money to cover your fuel, where's your lines of credit? Where's your unsecured? You need to have, listen, I know everybody's out here telling y'all, you don't need nothing but $2 to own a truck. You need to have, it's an
Oh.
equipment, it's a machine. You need to have, honestly, if y'all want me to be honest for tonight, 5 to 10K just for repairs. You're talking about a machine and equipment that can break down at any moment. Why do you think they charge so much in the oil fields? Why do you think they charge so much in the refineries? Because they're using all this equipment nonstop. I hate to bust your guys' bubble. Let me tell you, you're not busting no bubble because I actually lived it. I actually put my money on the line. I put my money where my mouth is and I lost money. So when people try to come on here, like, let me educate this girl who's just talking, I'm not these Negroes out here that got 8-hour podcasts. I'm an actual person who invested, who lost money, who gained money, who put skin down on the game in Detroit, put money down in Cleveland, put myself in those places, doing new construction in St. Petersburg, doing new construction in Arizona, doing new construction in Texas. You're not talking to some Yahoo out here. And that's why I'm taking a break off YouTube, because y'all got a lot of Yahoos out here that you can think you could talk yak mouth to. You can't talk yak mouth to me. I live this. I really do it. There's a white word for dusty. You already know, John. It's out there. Look at Billy Bob out there. Look at Zach looking crazy. Look at that dude Jeff out there. Uncle Bobby messing it up. There's names. You know what I'm
Cooter.
saying?
Cooter.
Cooter, quit cutting up out here. I just ain't been in North Carolina in a while. I don't remember them all. You know what I'm saying? Excuses. Exactly. People don't want to hear that though. Top notch though. This the thing. Top notch again. The numbers is out there. The data is out there. Are they tankers? Right? Come on now. Every truck driver can't be struggling if there's thousands of trucks still on the road, right? Think about that. Look, Tiffany, you already know be a broker. Government contracts in trucking, right? Come on now. There's all kind of stuff. But people don't want to hear that though.
I see the log trucks, cutting wood from lumber. I mean, or over here in the local area, the dump trucks. I mean, like you said, everybody can't be struck. Everywhere I go, there's 18 wheelers hogging up traffic
It's
everywhere.
all perception. I live in Texas. I literally on the road just trucks left, right, center, all over you. They ain't making no money driving to Mexico. They ain't making no money going over to Canada. Come on, man. Everybody's hurt. Again, this is all perspective. The data doesn't support that. The guy that got time to be on YouTube making 20 videos and he supposed to be driving that truck, what are you doing all day? Look, see, look, you already know. Listen, there's truckers in the chat. I ain't got to lie to you. Look, if a trucker was struggling to pay 5K in repair, he's doing something wrong. Come on. I mean, again, y'all, it's easy to come online and say, all the women's is bad, all the men's is bad, all the jobs are bad, everybody sucks. I mean, this is a pessimistic thought process. This is a scarcity mindset. That's a
Yeah.
mindset, right? Well, no, I look everywhere on YouTube. Do you? Listen, I challenge y'all to do this week. Go to Best Buy and type on one of their computers. I'm just picking a place. Go to Best Buy, go type on their computer something on YouTube and type a title. Whatever thing you usually look at, you'll be surprised. Go to somebody else's laptop, right? If I go on Dr. Dick's laptop right now and I type in travel, might be a whole different set of stuff pop up. The algorithm feeds you more of what you watch.
Uh-huh.
It keeps feeding you more of what you watch. Again, Facebook was notoriously known in reports for showing violence, school beatings, something else like violent stuff happening. And then they did a report saying how bad it was for people's mental health. Look, Sherry, no, there's big money. There's big money in telling you, oh man, it's somebody else's fault. Oh, it's somebody else's fault. It's shame on the other person for stopping you from growing. We're sitting here telling you, you
Yeah, I
know.
just I just wish people would change their perception. Everybody's not out here struggling. We have people struggling, but the whole world can't be against you. And like I think it Cherie was mentioning, there are people on YouTube. I pass by lots of videos from different channels. Don't do this. Don't be. If you watch enough of these videos, they'll make you depressed. And people have their own ideologies on how life is supposed to work. There is no book to life. I mean, you got to get out here and try and fail and see what works. So that's my best advice to everybody. See what works for you, scan and do whatever you got to do, search for what you want to search for, but just make sure in life that you're doing what works for you. Um life is a journey. just
Mm-hmm.
but just make sure that you're doing what works for you. Like they said, people on YouTube, there's so many negative channels out here. So it's a process to get to the top. And the biggest comparison I use to people, I said, with success in life, Mount Everest. There is no elevator to the top of Mount Everest. People die climbing Mount Everest.
Literally.
You are not going to take no. There is no elevator to success. There are only stairs. That's why 3% of people making it, 97% listen to the 3%.
Yeah. I told y'all when I was at a meeting and I realized everybody in that room that was a wholesaler was now doing new construction or government contracts. I said, that's your sign. That's your sign. Again, a lot of times people don't pay attention to the 3% that are doing stuff. I literally pay attention to the 3% that are doing something. I go, there's a reason they're doing it. Dr. Dix, where can people book a call with you? I can't remember. You got a calendar link
Oh, we're on Instagram now at King of Automation. And that's what the StreamYard is, at King of Automation. You can follow me on Instagram.
for sure. Look, John did say the YouTube algorithm is true because I watch Ericka and so many of her connected channels on YouTube think I'm black and links me to rap music. I'm telling you, somebody was like, oh, like YouTube shows me the other channels y'all watch. I'd be like, why are they watching me with that channel? But YouTube does what it wants, right? So again, y'all listen. Here's my wrapping it up out of this show because I'm getting ready to eat some food. I'm starving. I did 3 shows in a row. I want y'all to take this away. There is literally, what is this? 5 months left in the year? I think
Mm.
it's 4. It's
No,
4, right?
4. It's 8. It's August.
In my room, I have other room over here. Got 2 rooms over here, but the room over here, I have a calendar on the wall, all the way that goes to like June of next year. It's already filled out with events. We can't guarantee where we're going to go, but we have to aim high. We have to aim high. You A lot of y'all are aiming real low and you're hitting those targets. And you look around and go, well, everybody's struggling. No, no, no. Your targets were too low. You got to aim high. When you start aiming high, when you start going to events with different types of people, complete change. Right? When I shared people the website 10times.com, it had all these lists of conferences. People were like, oh, I didn't know all these conferences exist. That's right, because you're not training your mind to go find them. You're not. So we know automation's coming. We know it's going to hit a lot of folks that are just coasted out here in life, or the woman who's like, well, I'm just going to work a little, extra few hours a week at this little $10 an hour job. Well, no, you're not. You're not. Look, somebody said in school for web development, that a waste of time?
You can
It's
learn that.
I'm gonna just put it like, is it a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree? Is it community college? Is it 6 months? If it's 6 months, you didn't lose 6 months. You're just gonna have to learn. You can do a lot of that on the internet. But if you're going for a 4-year, 2-year, woo, I probably not on that. But
Yeah, yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the interview I did with Rolling Out in Atlanta. We got a lot of great things coming along, so that's the
mhm.
best place to reach me at King of
King of
Automation.
automation.
Yeah, I put it in the comment section too.
But I
That
want y'all
makes
to understand that, man. Like you gotta aim high, man. Aim high. Figure out what rooms you want to get in. Nobody's really. I mean,
hmm
right now they were talking about nepotism and how people are upset about nepotism. I'm like, the future for jobs is going to be people hiring their family, training their family.
hmm
Always. Like that's never not changed. America was just one of those places you could get around that, right? That was the only difference. America was one of those places you could be a bum off the street and come out and do whatever. Right? So here is his is it showing on screen? No, it's not. Sorry, y'all.
You want me?
Hold on. Here you go. I appreciate all y'all. Listen, look. I love and appreciate every video I've ever put on YouTube. I love and appreciate it, every bit of it. Thank you, King Chris. I'm just telling y'all. Once you learn something, pivot when you need to pivot.
Yeah,
Um,
please do. I want everybody. I give a lot of yeah, on Instagram. You could click on my link tree, and that'll take you to the LinkedIn, and to you can book the consultation with me through Calendly. And I appreciate Erica helping me out.
for sure.
Um, yeah, setting it up. But yeah, I gave that presentation in Raleigh. I got invited up there. But y'all, this is the page with we're adding stuff to it, and this is the future. I've given interviews since the last time. But it's been a long time since I've been on here. So
Hmm. Look at him with his new hair, y'all. Don't talk to him. New hair, don't care.
this the new hair right here. I had to switch it up and look GQ on there, but um there's a lot of the stuff is on the website, but Instagram is the best way to follow me. And the TikTok has the same thing. We just haven't added stuff to it yet. But um
Look,
I hope
V said he'd been on the Social Security website 20 minutes. Now just creating a crowd. It's a long process. That's how they doing. They're trying to get you to get off there. That's all that is. They're trying to get you to get off there. That's what it is. Stay with it.
Yeah,
Again.
that's the best place to check your.
Hmm.
You could get the quarterly statement is emailed to you, but every year I have my tax person do my taxes. I look at, like, from when I first started working, like Medicare taxes. I'm like, the numbers should be getting bigger, and I tell everybody this is how you can see if you're making money or not, because this is very important. So that's my tidbit to everybody. Make sure you are aware of your finances and your W-4s, and make sure you paying your taxes to Uncle Sam.
For sure. So, anyways, Dr. Dix, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being good information.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Jasmine. Yeah, that's where that picture was in
mhm.
Raleigh. I went up there to present to their Juneteenth event. So I appreciate presenting to them. She reached out to me, and I drove up to Raleigh to present that in your good old state of North Carolina.
The best state, but it's okay. Uh, Texas, Florida, Arizona, North Carolina. It is what it is. But yeah, you guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Dr. Dick's Consulting Group. Where innovation makes change. All right now. We said, watch out, make me the waves. So y'all go check out his page. Go give him a like or two. Go hit him in the comments. Dr. Dix, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. All right, you guys. This is your girl Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Y'all know what happens this week. We will be at the boat party. There's 292 people here. We only got 88 likes. Y'all better get yourself together and get these likes up. We'll be at the boat party. Then we'll be in Europe. Then we'll be over in Africa. Then we'll be back in New York. We'll be seeing Serena Williams retire. We'll be in Croatia. Shit, we'll be at the boot camp in Clearwater, Florida, September 10th and 11th. Then we'll be, oh gosh. Then we'll be October 13th through 15th in Panama. The Panama tickets drop tomorrow. We only have 45. There's 750 emails. You do the math. I don't want to hear no whining. I don't hear no crying about you didn't leave it out long enough. None of that. We just can't. We not gonna take 100 people to Panama. That's crazy. We taking 45, getting on a charter bus, touring properties. That's it, y'all. It'll be lit. Thank you, Greg Yoma, for the sticker. Dr. Dix, thank you so much for coming through. See you soon, you guys. You guys have a great night.